welcome back to another episode of Murder, Mysteries, and More. My name's Kaylee.
And my name is Desi.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell next to the subscribe button to turn on post notifications. Before we get into this case, we always encourage those who have useful information for any unsolved case to please report it to your local police and sheriff department.
Legend has it that a strange aquatic creature with a long neck and elongated head lurks in the depths of the body of freshwater in Scotland. These waters are called Lochness. The creature's name is Nessie. There have been multiple accounts of people startled by this strange, mysterious Nessie. Some people believe Nessie is a plesiosaur, which is an aquatic dinosaur, and others have theories that this cryptid could be a shark, eel, or anything else. The biggest question remains, is Nessie real?
Is the largest body of fresh water in Great Britain located in the Scottish Highlands. The body of water lies in Great Glen and it divides the Highlands and connects a system of waterways by the Caledonian Canal. The lake is roughly 2,400 meters deep, which is roughly 800 feet deep. The loch is home to an extremely large mythical dinosaur-like creature that has a long neck, razor-sharp teeth, and flippers. This creature is known as the Lochness Monster, also known as Nessie. The lake itself also has its own mythical legend. The Ireland legend has it that the winter goddess had a maid named Nessa. Nessa was being extra lazy and it made the goddess Callie Leach mad. And so she, in turn, I don't know why I'm laughing. Oh,
Here we go. This is like Kill Macau all over again.
Okay. And she in turn turned Nessa into River Ness. River Ness did not like this, so she split out and created the Loch Ness. This is how Loch Ness got its name. And the description of the Loch Ness creature, its most common depiction is an aquatic creature with a long, slender neck with razor-sharp teeth. It has one or more two humps that protrude out of the water, and it has four flippers. It is often compared to the plesiosaur. However, others believe it may actually look more like a crocodile, eel, shark, or some weird type of giant fish. We don't know.
If we did, we would be rich.
We would.
Yeah. The plesiosaurs are believed to have roamed the earth during the late Triassic period into the late Cretaceous period. Plesiosaurs were found in the European seas and around the Pacific Oceans, and this includes Australia, Asia, and North America. Their necks were extremely flexible, and it is believed they may have swung their heads side to side to feed on schools of fish. In early dinosaur evolution of the plesiosaurs, there were two lineages of the creature, plesiosaurs and plesiosauroids. Now, plesiosaurs had short necks and elongated heads. Plesiosauroids had small heads and flexible long necks. In a later evolution of the creature, there was Elasmosaurus. I don't know how to say dinosaur fucking names. Fuck this shit. Okay. And later... I can't. And later... Why does it look like I'm a fucking scholar out here? In later evolution of the creature, there was Elasmosaurus. Elasmosaurus had Elasmosaurus had possibly 76 vertebrae. It was much larger with a length of about 43 feet. Half of its length consisted of its head and neck. Obviously, plesiosaurs have been extinct for a long time, but Nessie is often depicted in such a similar way.
Sightings of Nessie. So, in May of 1933, a couple drove a motorcycle on a highway, I-82, and they stopped by the northern shore of Loch Ness. It was sunny, clear blue skies with a slight breeze. Waves gently rolled across the water. The couple suddenly turned their heads as a sea creature roughly 1 mile from the shore was rolling and thrashing about in the water. The creature appeared like it was some sort of strange massive whale, and it quickly dissipated into sea foam. The creature created waves as big as ones made by a big ship. For hundreds of years, there have been a handful of sightings of a strange marine creature. In 1934, another sighting of Nessie was reported. A physician was visiting the Loch from London and he took a picture of the strange creature. The physician states that he was looking at the creature, admiring its uniqueness, when the head and neck broke the surface. He was obviously startled, but he grabbed his camera and snapped 4 photos.
Okay. These sightings and pictures are what really brought many to visit Loch Ness. Many wanted to believe and actually witness the creatures themselves. Theory-wise, is Nessie really a plesiosaur or related to one? The photos taken in 1934 do make the creature appear to look like a sea dinosaur, much similar to a plesiosaur. Multiple witnesses do describe Nessie as having the same characteristics, which is 4 fins, elongated head, long neck, 25 feet long, and 4 feet high. We do know that many dinosaurs have existed and have many fossils to prove it. The Loch is 800 feet and contains murky waters, so it'd be easy for a creature to hide in it. But there is a big lack of evidence. No fossil bones of the creature have been found, which means the creature could still be alive nowadays. We haven't gotten a clear modern day picture of the creature though. With how far our technology has gotten, you'd expect many like Bigfoot to have good camera and video footage of the creature. But the sad thing is, the pictures taken in 1934 were debunked and were actually a photo of a toy submarine. The Loch is not believed to be able to sustain a plesiosaurus because it's too small and not enough fish are in it to feed off of it. There is no denying of dinosaurs, but Nessie is likely not a plesiosaur.
Is Nessie an eel? In 1934, vet student Arthur Graham was riding his motorcycle in the dark, cold, wintry night when he almost ran into something on the road. Startled, he hopped off his motorcycle to take a closer peek. The man described what he saw in the moonlight, quote, "I had a splendid view of the animal. It was a lovely moonlight night. I was able to observe it from 15 to 20 feet long. Small head on a long neck, large oval eyes. I have certain knowledge of any history. And I can definitely say I have never seen anything like this strange animal," end quote. The creature turned to the shore and quickly disappeared back into the depths of the water. In 1934, George Spicer states that he saw the creature crossing the road with the animal carcass in its mouth. Scattered bones of dead animals have been discovered amongst the land, indicating that some giant creature has been preying on them. A majority of the bone remain fragments appear to have suffered from immense crushing force. By these implications, you would believe that a wolf or bear caused this. However, they are not typically found in this region. Also, the way the bones were scattered, it indicated that a creature was semi-aquatic, which means it's comfortable on both land and water.
Uh, there is a theory that Loch Ness is related to Anguilla eel and conger eel, which is found in that region, but Anguilla is actually found in Europe. 13-foot eels have been found, and it is possible that there may have been eels bigger than that at one point. Eels are described as elongated serpent-like bodies that taper into thin tails. Eels are usually green or gray in color, have wide mouths with sharp teeth. European eels specifically are nocturnal creatures, and Nessie is often described as appearing in the nighttime. Eels are also very easily frightened, which would explain why it would be extremely difficult to capture a picture of Nessie. Eels use their bodies to camouflage as a defense mechanism. This would also explain why it's been so difficult for people to capture Nessie. However, there are some differences between Nessie and Anguilla eels.
The mythical creature has a thicker mucous membrane and has a much larger head than an Anguilla eel. The creature does have eyes that are adapted to low light conditions. The creature also would have to adapt to extremely cold, dark waters. Eels are very adaptable creatures and could easily adapt to the waters of Loch Ness. Eels are known to eat a wide variety of food and survive multiple months without eating. Based on current research and observation of eels in most recent times, the eel was born in the Sargasso Sea. After hatching, the eel rode the Gulf streams and immigrated to the Scottish waters. The eels underwent metamorphosis and became glass eels. The eels enter the next growth phase and enter the river of the Ness. It is known that in the past there was a way to access the loch which had much deeper waters. During the construction of Highway A82, dynamite was used. Prior to this, eels would go back to the Sargasso Sea, but that did not happen. And it is possible that the dynamite used to destroy the underwater channel. It is possible that the dynamite that they used destroyed the underwater channel and trapped the eels.
That sounds very sargassy.
Yep.
Yeah. Since the eels were trapped, they couldn't finish their normal life cycle. The eels would not enter the silver eel stage, instead they reverted to a feeding stage. This could cause accelerated growth, thus making the eels bigger in size and also increase their appetite. Since the eels were eating large amounts of food, it really fueled their growth and made them extremely large. It is not uncommon to have eels live 100 plus years. However, in the lakes there is limited food and it is seasonally due to cold winters. This meant that the eel would have to really adapt or find another way to obtain food. This is where eels leaving the water and going on land to search for food comes into play. The creature would have to prey off deer and other land creatures. It is not uncommon for species of fish and eels to leave the water and go on land to hunt for food. Anguilla eels can survive days outside of the water, and some have been spotted climbing dams. There is a lot of DNA eel evidence found in the Loch, so it is very possible that Nessie could have been an eel. But, once again, we do not have physical proof of eels reaching the size that Nessie is. We also cannot confirm or deny if Nessie is even real.
And we would love for you to comment below what you think. Do you think Nessie is real? Could she possibly be a giant eel? Nessie and media. In 2007, Water Horse depicts the marine animal as a gentle water giant. Steve Alton wrote a book called The Loch, warning the dangers of the mysterious beast. Multiple children's books paint Nessie as this harmless, cute little green sea monster. Even though most sightings describe the monster as gray or black colored creature, most films also depict the creature like a plesiosaur type creature, even though that may not actually be the case.
Okay, into our Reddit comments. The first one being by question 4477. Your opinion, did the Lochness Monster ever exist? Beautiful day outside. It's real. Can't you see it up there on the banner? I don't say anything. I'm blind. I don't know what you're talking about. See? I'm blind.
I'm blind too.
I don't get it.
She've add DXP. Fuck knows. We found coelacanths and we're pretty certain they've been extinct for millions of years, so yeah, it's possible. Likely no, but it's possible. That said, I absolutely think the myth can keep going. Tourism is valuable, so who gives a fuck if they come spot a mysterious monster from myth and legend? I'd rather Nessie than tartan fucker and plastic fucking tubes and rocks. Who the fuck, apart from tourists, buys a rock anyway? Damn language, dude! I just
Wild. How about that? Wild.
Yeah.
The smelliest cat. The ocean and Great Lakes / lochs are really mysterious. They're very deep, very dark, and mostly unexplored. People like to make up stuff about what's down there, and we'll probably never know if it's true or not. I mean, stuff like Nessie, the Kraken, mermaids, and dolphins could be real, but who knows? Dolphins are real, though. Nowadays, even photos are unreliable because I could Photoshop. Dolphins are real, though. People see dolphins all the time. What do
Dolphins
you mean?
are very much real and they get high off of pufferfish.
Oh my. Well, either way, yes, you are correct about the rest. But dolphins, we gonna have a talk about them fucking dolphins later. But
yeah, they are real.
you are right. Photoshop is very unreliable. But most of these pictures were taken back in the day, so Photoshop wasn't even a thing.
Yeah, it was just shitty camera quality.
And them poor ass people with them poor ass cameras.
And it'd be easy to make up some creature by a terrible picture.
Bro, back in them days, you could get away with murder.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Lego gorilla. No.
Just no. Mike Lao Shi. Of course it exists. If you see that mofo, tell him he still owe me Tree Fitty.
That's fun.
He don't owe you nothing, man. Don't harass that poor monster.
The next one is by Lazakistan. How can we reclassify Nessie while still being heavily inspired by the myth? And then we'll post this picture. It's a plesiosaur. Poop Smith 87. Unusually large eels, most likely. There was a DNA analysis of the water in Loch Ness that revealed no traces of uninspected reptiles, sturgeon, or catfish, but it did show a very high concentration of a variety of eels. One thing about Loch Ness is that it is connected to other lochs, and it's ultimately the North Sea. It's not just an isolated lake. Yeah, I could see that.
Fastest G, we should think about how we can yassify Nessie before thinking about how to realistify her. You read, girl.
Gart Faux Hammer. You guys need to listen to the spooky episodes of Common Descent podcast. They basically do exactly that for monsters and cryptids.
Check it out.
Interesting.
Yeah. Astro Natalie. The day I knew Nessie was not real was when I watched the documentary about Jeremy Wade trying to hunt her down. If that man can't catch her, then she's not real. LMAO. Maybe he's just shitty at his job. I don't know. You might be right though.
Oh my god, Spiker 145. Giant long-necked turtle coming from the Atlantic to the loch through the underground cave system to feed on large fish in the loch after laying eggs. Just so I don't get dozens of down votes. This is speculative evolution, not an explanation. Giant long-necked turtle. Oh my god.
Jenny Wolfgal. Giant fuck off eel. That's funny.
Oh my god, Cyberwolf09. Either a large long-necked turtle or a giant long-necked seal. Imagine a long-necked seal.
I don't want to think about that actually.
That'd be
I
weird.
really don't. I don't want to think about that. Alright, this last one is by Any Award 666. What really lives in the Loch Ness? Mr. Hoke. A variety of fishes. Salmon, trout, eels, sturgeon, etc. The very rare seal makes its way to the loch. Otters, seabirds. Sometimes a deer swims in the loch. Clams, including a foot-long species. Lake insects, a weird common toad seen crawling 300 feet down. Need to give source for this one. So yeah, lots of things live in Loch Ness. Well, that's very educational. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mountain-Snow 7858. I'm partial to the giant amphibian theory, a giant salamander related to the Asian giant salamanders and the hellbender. A large eel is another possibility.
Anything's possible.
Yep, anything.
Deleted. Didn't the guy say he faked the picture? Also, I believe there are a lot of moray eels that could possibly fit the description. I don't know, fam. I guess.
Southern_dig_9460. The ghost of a dinosaur haunts it. LOL. Yeah, it is a ghost.
Oh, so he's possessed.
Yeah.
This is fucking possession. Sounds like he needs an exorcist.
Probably.
Probably.
Hitting some salt.
Put some salt on that. Archer 13F. The most likely answer is native fauna misidentified, likely larger than average eels make up a decent amount of sightings. However, I'm pretty partial to the idea that we could have some undiscovered species living in caves underwater. If one occasionally rose to the surface, it could easily be mistaken for a giant serpentine creature at a distance. Fair. You might be right. You might be on something.
Maybe so.
Maybe. I don't know, man.
The Haunted City, nothing. They wanted to make a tourist trap, so they came up with the monster facts. Whole Loch has been tested with radar and nothing showed. I mean, that is one way to make money.
That's true. That is one way, dude.
Yep.
For decades, multiple witnesses have reported a terrifying sea beast that lives in the waters of the Loch in Scotland. When the marine beast made an appearance, it would create chaotic waves as high as those that steamboats could make. But to this day, there has not been any photographic evidence or video footage of such a creature. However, it is not out of question that Nessie was a terrifying giant eel. Thank you for listening to another episode of Murders, Mysteries, and More. Remember to always keep your eyes open because you may get snatched by sea monster in the Loch Ness.